Farmers used the Mississippi River to float their crops down to New Orleans to ship them to Europe or other cities on the East Coast. The U.S. farmers were worried that the French would close the port to American goods because it was part of the Louisiana Territory. Then they would have no way to get their crops to the market.
This is the story of the Louisiana Purchase, Lewis and Clark, and the Explorers in plain English, by Madi, Taylor,
Nikki, and Brightyn. Thomas Jefferson bought the Louisiana Territory from France for $15 million in the 1800s.
The new territory would double the country's size. They sold the land for 2 to 3 cents an acre.
Most Americans thought that the Louisiana Purchase was the greatest land deal in history.
Thomas Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark on an expedition to explore the new land. They were gone for 2 years and 4 months.
While they were on their expedition, they established good relationships with the Indians and brought back information about the land and the people.
In May 1804, the 45 members of the expedition left St. Louis, Missouri. Lewis and Clark led the expedition. Its members included soldiers, frontiersmen, and an African-American slave named York, who worked for Clark.
The explorers made camp for the winter near Mandan village. There, a French fur trapper joined them along with his 16-year-old wife, a Shoshone woman named Sacagawea, and their infant son. They hoped she would be able to translate for them when they reached the Shoshone country.
As the trip progressed, they could see the Rockies ahead, but to cross them before the winter, they would need horses. Soon, they ended up at the land of Sacagawea's childhood. One day, a group of Indians approached. To Sacagawea's great joy, they proved to be Shoshone. Sacagawea persuaded him to provide the explorers with the horses they desperately needed.
As winter ended, the explorers reached their final destination, the Pacific Ocean. After a long, hard winter in Oregon, the explorers headed home. In September 1806, 2 years and 4 months after setting out, they returned to St. Louis.
They did not find the Northwest Passage because it did not exist, but they had traveled about 8,000 miles and mapped a route to the Pacific.
In 1806, the same year Lewis and Clark returned to St. Louis, Zebulon Pike set out to explore the southern part of the new Louisiana Territory. Pike and his team traveled up the Arkansas River into Colorado. There, Pike visited the mountain that is today called Pike's Peak. Another explorer, John C. Fremont, mapped much of the territory between the Mississippi Valley and the Pacific Ocean in the 1840s.
After the explorers came back from exploring the West and shared the information about the land and its people, settlers started moving there to start a new life.